Hi. So we are Databee. We are a startup helping companies to grow through data. Here's Excel spreadsheets. We are using them every day for our business. The problem is that 71% of the companies that are using data only use these spreadsheets to handle this data. And we think this is a problem because when you are growing and you have hundreds of inputs every hour on your database, you cannot manage that stream using simple Excel spreadsheets. They are not done for that. This is where we act. We are Databee. And for us, your data is a world of opportunity. We want to work on top of your database and on top of your analytics, and from that, transform it into decision, what we call honeypots. And these decisions can help you to change your product, to find your best customers, and to improve your business. This is how we work. We are on top of two things. First, the 71% of companies that have data but are only using spreadsheets. So we are working on top of databases like Amazon Web Services and the database on Amazon S3 or on top of Heroku, but also the other 29% that are already using analytics through Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, or Mixpanel. And we are mixing this to talk with you, find what are your KPIs, and find what are the patterns in your database to find what are the most valuable information that you can get from this and how you can transform this into decisions and you can act quickly thanks to this. So here's our first customer, Mentimeter. Mentimeter is a company doing live surveys. They gave us all the data, more than 65,000 questions, and we found two main things to do. First, allow search. Like on Stack Overflow, or where a user is typing a new question, it can find if another public question have already been asked, and this way it can ask another question, a question more precise, and to get more information from it. But also, as Mentimeter is doing live surveys, one people on stage like me have an impact on all of you. If I'm asking you to answer a question on Mentimeter right now, you will all now see Mentimeter on your screen. So through that, one user that is using Mentimeter every day, a teacher or something who is doing a lot of conferences in front of VCs, will have a great impact. And we think that this user, as Mentimeter as a freemium business models, should be contacted directly by Mentimeter to allow them, for example, to try Mentimeter Premium for 1 month. And this way to have more active and more engaged users and to make grow the community. So this is on two main values. First, by finding the patterns on what are the most important data sets in all your data, we can see what are doing your users with your product. And this way, we can say to you, this feature is the most used, and this feature should be improved because the other features are not really used. So maybe you should change your value proposition. But also, we are moving the community upward because if your users are more happy and your users are more engaged, your community will grow and will be more viral. For example, with Mentimeter, if a user that is using it regularly starts using the premium Mentimeter experience, it can really tell the other users and it can test everything and be a really valuable user and make your community more valuable also. So our market. We talked a lot about decisions, and we know that big companies are quite slow to move. So first, we want to work with startups, companies that can make new features in a matter of months or even weeks. We want to be based in Sweden first, where there is more than 1,500 startups. And of course, we want to work with the ones that are collecting data, because otherwise we cannot work with them, sorry. Our business plan. First, we have the setup fee, because we are doing something personalized. Some of our competitors are doing something truly automatized, but we think that we need to know what is your business doing. And we need to find what are your KPIs to create, for example, live dashboards, but also weekly reports about your most valuable users. For a higher amount of money, we will also offer personal suggestions based on your data, and we will be in contact with the company every week to help them to enhance their product. So, let's speak about a bad word, consulting. This is not truly scalable, but we think that we have to do that first because Mentimeter want to pay for us. And this way, we can start working on a back end. And that's what we want to do. At the beginning of 2016, we want to have what we call the Databee Hive, an automatized backend that can, depending on the sector your company is working on, for example, freemium products, or just a service that is selling goods, and we can have these patterns and working automatically to work faster and to be more scalable. And after working in Sweden, we want to globalize. We want to work in Paris, in Budapest, or in London because our team knows also these cities. Our team. So Roxana and I are working on cloud computing. So we know a lot about data analytics, and we can work on it. Istvan is working on security, so it will be ensure that the data we manage is safely stored and no pirates will attack it. And Fahime is working on design, and she will work on data visualization and the front-end development. So we are Databee, and we're here because we know that working with data is hard. Only few companies are doing it. Google is driving by data. Spotify is also driving by data. But when your main value proposition is to sell goods, you maybe don't have the time to work on it. And we are here for you. With our first customer, Mentimeter, we do not need money right now, but we need you to tell us what are your problems. So thanks to talk to us today, and thank you for your attention.
Very good job. Very interesting Databee. I know several companies that need that sort of help. What are the questions from you guys? Good.
Could you just describe a bit further how your product will work together with existing solutions? You had you use Mixpanel and Flurry, etc., and take that data to Database. So does that mean that the startup need to have, the company need to have all these solutions, or would it be enough to only use Database in the future?
Yes, so Mentimeter, for example, is using both, so we can work on top of both solutions. But for other companies, we think that these solutions that are not direct competitors for us, we will ask the companies to really add this to their product, because this is solutions, we know them, and we know that it is great for a lot of business. So if companies start talking to us on all they have is just data, we'll tell them you should choose also this solution, and we will work with you so that the installation of Mixpanel, for example, with a startup will be easier, and we will tell the company what they should really see, and we will implement Databee on top of it.
Got it. And then the main value by adding Database is basically that you get more granular analysis and also more smarter analysis. Is that correct? So, and do you think that will be possible, that you can detect features that are not well used, but you can recommend them to improve features? I guess it's very advanced, but how do you do that?
For example, so we're taking our first customer as an example because we work with us. So they have a lot of different type of questions, and we saw one type of question is only used 2% of the time, and one other used 50% of the time, and they don't know that. So when we told them, they were like, "Oh, we didn't saw that." So with that kind of thing, by seeing the patterns on what is the user doing regularly, you can really see what are the features that are the most.
But couldn't it be so that one of those features maybe should be deleted or completely scrapped as well, right? It's
yes, but this is a startup decision.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, I thought it was that you could also recommend that, okay, this is not used, but if you use this, then I don't know.
Yes.
This is actually what we want to do for Mentimeter. Currently, existing users cannot see questions that have been posted by other users. And since this data is public, we could just allow them to search for questions and see that my question has already been asked, and I received this kind of answers. And maybe then I can improve my question, ask it in a better way, or otherwise maybe I'm interested in what other audiences answered to the same question. So this is a new feature for research.
And then maybe just a recommendation, or is planned to recommend that as well, but when you have a setup fee, you usually lose a lot of potential customers that haven't tried it, and then they don't want to pay first before they try it. So it's usually much better, not always, but usually a much better business model to have it free and let them try it out first. And then if they love it, they will pay, and then maybe you can have slightly higher monthly fee. But there's something.
I would totally take the blame on this. It's I was actually one forcing it on them, but we didn't get into the details of discussing how it should be implemented. But it's a very good point. Having a free trial and then a much faster ramp up is great input, actually.
Good advice.
All right, great advice. Thank you very much. Thanks for a great pitch.